So today we're going to be cooking a reverse-sear tenderloin. We're going to do some roasted potatoes. We're going to do some grilled asparagus, a couple of different toppings, and then one of my favorites on the grill is a grilled Caesar salad. It's kind of healthy, so you know, if you have some friends with you that aren't steak eaters, this is a great option as well. So we're going to start with our tenderloin. And one thing when you're packing your cooler, you want to put a plastic bag, just a shopping bag, and try and get all your stuff in there to avoid any spillage. And you want to make sure everything is wrapped up really, really well. I like to prep ahead of time as much as I can. So I use the whole tenderloin, I trimmed it up, and you can use the rest for kind of whatever you want. If you want to make beef tips at home or just do a different roast at home as well. So this is a center cut of the tenderloin. We're going to season this up and we're going to cook this whole on our grill we have going over there. You want to season it up?
Yeah, that's good.
All right, Chad's going to season this up. What seasoning do you have there, Chad?
This is a steak and shake seasoning from our friends at Lane's Barbecue down in Atlanta. It's a lot of herbs, quality stuff. I like the big flake salt that's in it.
Yep.
Garlic, it's got minced onion, pepper, rosemary, thyme, and pepper flakes. So just a really good mix. I mean, you could make your own similar to this, but we're all about being easy out here on the
For
tarmac.
sure, keep it simple.
All right, I'll give her some seasoning if you want to pat and roll.
So yeah, if you have a favorite seasoning that you like to use, go ahead and bring that along. But this one, like you can see the texture of it. I mean, it has everything, nice large chunks. And we're gonna let that sit for just a minute and really let that soak in. You wanna get your meat to a little bit about room temperature as well when you're grilling. That way it's gonna cook a little quicker and a little more evenly.
You wanna be generous with your rubs, your seasonings too. Like my buddy Ryan at Lane's Barbecue says, I got kids to put through college, so use lots of seasoning.
Use lots of seasoning. And you get the ends as well. I mean, I season the whole steak. Kind of roll it around anything that you missed. And we're going to put that steak on at the same time we do our potatoes.
Did you do anything on prep for the potatoes there, Chef? Or what do we got going?
Yeah. So we have our potatoes here. And I have them, I cooked them at home a little bit. We boiled them, steamed them is fine. And I have a little bit of sauteed onion in there as well. So we're gonna put some fresh butter. And when you pack them, you can pack them right in the aluminum foil. And you can have your butter and everything in there if you'd like. But we're gonna go some nice fresh butter. Support the dairy farms, right?
Absolutely.
And you can never have too much. And we're gonna really wrap it up again. So you wanna make sure it's nice and wrapped so you don't have any leaking.
He's got the industrial box of tin foil.
I always encourage people to bring aluminum foil as well. Yep, in your box you want to have aluminum foil. We're gonna wrap this up one more time, just to really make sure we're not losing any butter in the grill. That'll cause a flare up, which you want to avoid.
Yeah, that's a little more excitement than we want today.
Yes, sir. All right, we're ready. We're at about 225 for smoking and reverse searing. You want to cook your steak low and slow, and then the whole purpose is you're gonna get it low and slow to about a degree less than how you like it. If you like it medium, you're gonna cook it to about medium rare. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull that steak off, get our grill nice and hot, about 500 degrees, and we're gonna put it back on and really let that sear the outside. You always wanna burp your grill with these Kamados. Open it up just a little bit before you open it all the way to avoid a flare up. So we're gonna put our potatoes right on there. We're gonna put our steak on the other side, and we're gonna let this go for, we'll start off with about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And check it again. So one thing when you're tailgating that you wanna make sure you do is temperature control. So like I said, you wanna make sure you keep your grill at 250 degrees. So these Kamado style grills require a little bit of work. So you gotta just make sure that your daisy wheel is in the proper position. If you're too hot, you're gonna wanna close the bottom up a little bit. If you're too cold, if you're not hot enough, you're gonna want to open it up a little bit. So we're actually rolling really well right at 250 degrees. So we're gonna keep it closed with about a pinky's width open. Also, Chad brought this thermometer that has different controls on it where it tells you the internal temperature of the steak and the temperature on the grill. So let's open up this grill real quick to check it out. So it comes with two probes, one that goes right into the middle of the meat, and then one that goes on top of the grill to tell you how hot the grill actually is. So we're gonna keep this closed, but all these things will help you with your tailgate, make it nice and simple, so you can actually enjoy playing a game of bags, drinking a cold beer at the stadium. All right, so we have our digital thermometer here. It says we're at 119 for that steak, so we're gonna wanna pull that thing off. And we're gonna use this handheld digital thermometer just to do a double check. And we're at 122, this is perfect. So we're gonna pull this steak off, thank you.
Just pull the probe out.
Take that probe out, yep. And we're gonna put it on this foil. Just gonna wrap that up and let it rest while we let our grill get nice and hot. And we're gonna take these potatoes off as well.
Set them right there.
Set them right next to it, yep. Always wanna have some sort of landing spot for your food. So we have a aluminum foil half pan. You can just bring a plate or a cutting board or whatever you wanna bring, really. And we can take this probe out. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this deflector plate off. We're gonna open the top, open the bottom all the way up, really let the airflow get through. And we're gonna wanna bring this grill up to 450, 500 degrees. While we're doing that, some of the toppings we have, you can bring whatever you want, but we have some sliced mushrooms in here, a little bit of butter, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw those on the grill right now, let those saute. And one of my favorites is onion jam. This is something you can make at home and bring along. You're gonna saute onions and some butter, and then you're gonna add some sugar and vinegar. Makes a nice sweet jelly, and let it cook down and reduce so it looks just like a jam, but it's with onions and bacon in there. So that's an awesome steak topping as well. And then one of my favorites for grilling with steak is asparagus. So I just took some olive oil, a little salt and pepper, put that in a bag and toss that around. And this we'll put on towards the end. It only takes about a minute or two to cook. So while the grill is warming up, we're gonna put our mushrooms on, because these we can put on and just kind of hold as well. So
throw your potatoes back on too.
yep. All right, so we're almost at about 500 degrees here on our grill. We're gonna open up, remember to burp it, and we're gonna take those potatoes off. We're gonna take our mushrooms off as well. Let's just check on these. Yeah, our mushrooms are nice. We're gonna stir those around a little bit. We can put them on for about a few more minutes while that steak is reverse searing. The whole idea behind the technique of the reverse sear is to bring it up to temp low and slow, so that way that meat stays nice and tender. And then what we're gonna do is once it's nice and hot on this grill, we're gonna put back on and char that outside, so it has a nice crisp outside, a nice tender, juicy middle. And it'll be a perfect medium rare medium by the time we have this thing cooked. So we're right at 500. We're gonna burp our grill and we're gonna put that steak right back on. And you can hear that sizzle. We'll add our mushrooms on as well.
Smells pretty good too, Chef.
Smells fantastic. So we have a nice sear on that side. And we're gonna let it go on the other side for just another minute or two. All right, we have absolutely fantastic sear here. We're ready to pull this off. And we're gonna put it on our cutting board. And we're gonna cover it so it stays nice and hot and it'll rest there. We have our mushrooms sauteed. Now we're ready to do our asparagus.
This would be the best cookout in the tailgate
So
area.
you will definitely be the talk of the tailgate. If you're sitting next to somebody, you want to bring enough to share, because people will ask you for some. So we're gonna cook these for just a minute.
We have to share, Chef?
You don't have to share.
Okay, but we will.
It's a nice thing to do. It's the nice thing to do.
So we do the asparagus, and then you talked about
Yeah,
the
so
Caesar.
then we're gonna rock a grilled Caesar salad, and these are fun to do.
Awesome.
You just want to wash it. You can wash it ahead of time at home and wrap it up. And then I just cut it in half the long way. I prefer to buy romaine hearts from the store, but if they don't have them, you can actually just buy a regular head of romaine and take the couple outside pieces off, so you're really left with that nice solid, the middle of it basically.
Okay. Gotcha.
Pull our asparagus off. Just a real quick sear on that. It doesn't take much. We'll put that on our pan as well with our toppings and our potatoes.
Nice.
And for our grilled Caesar salad, we're gonna take our Caesar dressing, and you can just bring a nice brush and just brush it on the Caesar dressing right onto the romaine lettuce. Doesn't have to be anything real fancy. Kind of get on the insides of it. This is a great, great salad option, great vegetarian option as well. And we're really just gonna grill it for couple of seconds here just to get that flavor, that awesome smoke flavor. We'll leave it with the top open. A couple of lemons that I did cut up in half earlier. Get those on the grill as well. All right, we're ready to pull this lettuce off. You can bring whatever plate you'd like. We're gonna keep it simple. We're gonna top it with the traditional toppings. Some Parmesan cheese.
Nice.
I mean, for not being meat, this is good enough to eat. I mean, this is one of my favorites. And plenty of croutons, and this is enough to share with a couple of people.
Awesome.
And yeah, you can just dig in, cut that bottom part off. And if you want a little extra Caesar dressing on it, go ahead and pour it on. And here's a great appetizer for your steak dinner. All right, now we're ready to take care of our steak. So it's rested. We're gonna cut into it. And look at this steak, a perfect medium rare.
Oh man.
The knife just goes right through it. You'll serve it with some asparagus. The nice thing about this is you can do a family style with your family and friends. You can kind of put whatever toppings they want on it. Don't forget the potatoes. Starch is the key to any good meal, right? You can leave these right in the foil with that nice butter sauce on them. Fold it up, make it look somewhat presentable. And you have a feast fit for a king. What do you think about digging in, guys?
Yep.
All right, we have everything set. This tenderloin, like Chad said, it should be fork tender. I mean, this is just perfect center cut.
I still can't believe you're doing this in a parking lot for a tailgate shop.
Doing it in a parking lot for, yeah, I mean.
This is living.
This is the brilliant thing, and it really, from start to finish, took only about 2 hours, I'd say. So you'll be able to eat and get into the game, and you won't have to spend any money on food. You can save that for beers. So we're gonna put a little onion jam on one of them.
Ooh, yeah.
One of my favorites, and a little bit of sauteed mushrooms on another. This one we'll just enjoy that tenderloin plain on that one. And here's your tailgate for a beautiful tenderloin lunch at the ballpark. Enjoy.